If any of you are new to this channel, I talk about all things healing through detoxification, iridology, and herbs. So welcome, and if you like this content, please subscribe and leave a like on this video. It lets me know if you guys enjoy this content, and so know that I'm here for you to support you on your healing journey. Here back again with another video. I've really missed you guys so much. I know it's been like so long since I did one of these Q&A videos again, and it's kind of weird because I'm in a completely different environment now. Some of you may know that me and Gabriel have moved to Hawaii. I officially moved back in September, and he joined me, but then he had to go back to Florida to wrap some things up, and then he came back again a few months later, also with our dog Luna. But the whole process took a lot of physical and mental energy, and I'm so happy because this has been a dream of mine ever since I was like 8 years old. I've always wanted to move to Hawaii. I've always felt a strong connection to living here, to wanting to move here, and I'm so happy that I'm finally able to live here now. But essentially, it came at the perfect timing to move when we did, because the past few months have really been, I should say like this whole year really has been about me trying to heal from past traumas, trying to heal my heart. You know, I noticed that over the past year, my heart was kind of like closing up. I was trying to like protect it, protect my myself, protect my emotions, protect my persona from, you know, people that like to suck your energy, people that, you know, just the fear of betrayal, fear of being taken advantage of. I'm sure some of you guys can relate, but that pretty much is what happened to me in the beginning of this year, unfortunately. But you know, I essentially hit like rock bottom, I'd say like in February of 2021, and it took a few months to kind of like, you know, climb myself up out of this deep dark hole that I had fallen in. So yeah, it was like I'd done some emotional healing work on myself in the past, but this has just, like, these situations in the past year or so has just brought a new level of emotional healing, and it's really been about how I can use my thoughts to influence my emotions, different techniques, different therapeutic exercises that I've been learning and implementing into my life and practicing with the help of a therapist. Like, you know, I hadn't seen a therapist in so long. It's been, you know, like since I was a teenager. But yeah, like it was something that I was resisting for such a long time, because, you know, sometimes like as healers, you know, if you're a healer, if you're in the healing modality or healing business of helping other people transform their lives, sometimes you can neglect yourself if you get so caught up, and if you're like so busy, and if you're inundated with hundreds of clients that you have to help and guide them out of their suffering. You know, like that's always taken number one priority ever since I started you know, this detoxification and healing business. The clients, you know, my clients have always been my number one priority, but over those years, like it really, you know, I was like neglecting myself for some time there, and then it just like, it was like a wave. All of a sudden, past traumas were resurfacing that I didn't know were affecting me at such a deep level. But wow, I essentially, you know me guys, like I'm like such a perfectionist, and I tend to like really try to do things on my own, not really ask for help. So I took a lot of strength to admit that I needed help, and with the support of, you know, my mom and, you know, my husband Gabriel, and, my close family members, I was able to get that support. They held me in like this safe space to where they said, Eileen, it's okay. It's okay that you're in this place and you need help. You can definitely get out of this and shine even brighter in this like new version of yourself. You can like blossom forward with assistance. So thankfully, like that's what I've been working in the past few months, is healing myself as well as still healing other people. But it's brought to light such an important facet when it comes to healing, because I talk about like detoxification, healing the physical body, but holistically speaking, the emotions and thoughts can also affect the physical body, because just like acidic foods destroy tissues and cells and organs and glands and systems in the body, negative emotions and negative thoughts towards yourself or traumas that are weighing you down can also have an effect on your physical body at a cellular level. So like it's really exciting. I'm learning so much through this process, and I'm definitely going to be implementing everything that I've learned. Just like I detoxed myself in the past and I learned so much from personal experience and through the years of helping people, now I'm gaining so much more life experience. So it's like, as a healer, you never stop learning. You just keep on implementing more and more and more, and you're kind of like cutting through the grime of like what doesn't work. And yeah, I'm excited to be implementing this into like the protocols that I write for you guys, and teaching you in our consultations together. So that's just been really exciting, and I thought I'd catch you guys up on where I've been. But other than that, Hawaii has been fantastic. For those of you that follow me on my Instagram, and if you haven't followed me on my Instagram yet, definitely do, because I've been posting a lot of content on there like nonstop. Like I've kind of had to take a little break from YouTube, and so I thought, hey, I could focus a little bit on Instagram. Instagram needs a little love, it's been feeling kind of neglected. But yeah, I'm slowly but surely coming back on YouTube. I'm going to be making more videos as my emotional energy sees fit. Yeah, but definitely follow me on Instagram, and you'll see like little glimpses of Hawaii and what me and Gabriel have been experiencing. We're talking like rainbows and snorkeling and beautiful views and mountains and fresh air, and it's like, wow. I'm not gonna lie, like Hawaii has definitely encouraged me to level up, to continue to evolve, continue to level up. And there's a saying, especially when it comes to living on Maui, it's a saying that says, don't try to change Maui, let Maui change you. And that is just so correct, because if you come to this island with like a lot of baggage and closed off and just harboring a lot of negative feelings and thoughts and emotions, like this island will chew you up and spit you back out, definitely. It's a slower paced life, but it allows you to really appreciate the beauty and really just engulf yourself in this feminine principle and this feminine healing energy. And that's definitely what I've needed for so long. Living in Florida, which I don't know if Florida has like a masculine energy, but I definitely was embodying more of my masculine energy there, where it was like do, go all the time. I just would create a to-do list that was like a mile long, and every day it would just be about doing that to-do list and checking it off. And here it's been more about rediscovering my intuition and doing things with more ease, and from a place of love for myself and for others. And it's just been so much easier to do things. Like, it's so much easier to get things done without having to force them to be done, right? So, wow, like, I don't know if any of you guys are interested in this, but I could talk about this subject. But anyways, just to catch you guys up. But yeah, I'm wondering like how you are all doing. I'm wondering if like where you are on your healing journey. We've started with so many of you, like this past November and October, I know so many of you guys have signed up for the Master Health Package and the VIP support package, and like we've been working with so many of you, and I always get excited, you know, to work with you guys, because I see the potential and it's unlimited to what you can achieve in the healing of your body. So yeah, but we're gonna be diving back into the Q&A videos. And so I have this question that it's kind of like a full case that I thought I'd discuss with you guys today. I'm gonna jump into this question, okay? So this person says, dealing with very bad body odor. Can't smell it myself, but can see it on the reaction of people around me. I've had a very bad experience and low self-esteem due to this, and don't want to interact with a lot of people before I get this resolved. Wow. So I personally haven't like dealt with like really bad body odor in the past, but I definitely have had people, you know, like people like family members and friends and, you know, clients that have dealt with this issue. And really through detoxification, you can heal this straight away. So let's discuss like what causes bad body odor. But I really feel for you, because if you can't even smell it on yourself, it's like you're kind of like just scared and in this fear mode of noticing like what other people are thinking about you all the time. And that's like a very stressful state to live in day to day, you know? Like you should be able to kind of live and go through life, go about your day without really caring about what other people think. So we're gonna get you to that state, okay? So bad body odor can come from so many different factors in the body. I often find that you could be experiencing bad body odor before detoxification as well as during detoxification. So if you have bad body odor before you even jump into detox, like let's say if you're eating a standard American diet, it's oftentimes because your diet has a lot of proteins. So a diet excess in proteins, kind of doesn't matter if it's like plant-based proteins or animal-based proteins, although animal-based proteins will be more mucus forming and even smellier. But I have met people and I have had clients that were following a plant-based vegan diet, but they were just consuming too much protein. Once they let go of the protein, the bad body odor started to leave. Okay, and this is because protein foods are putrefactive foods. They putrefy in the colon. They actually create stagnation within the lymph system. So if you guys, maybe some of you have experienced this, but if not, you can do this test on yourself. Go on like a raw detox diet for a few weeks and then have some protein, something like beans or like tofu or nuts, or you know, like a mock vegan chicken or like a burger or something like that, and you will notice the next day or like a day or two later, even a few hours for some people, you will start to develop these putrefying factors in your tonsils. For those of you that still have your tonsils, you'll start to, you know, spit out these tonsil stones, and that's from the proteins. So of course, you know, halitosis, bad breath, gunk on your tongue, all that stuff's coming from putrefying protein within the colon. So I'd say that that's one of the factors. So you want to make sure that you're not consuming these. As well as during detox, you can also experience bad body odor. If you think about it, you know, when you detox, it's the act of eliminating. Elimination is the name of the game during detox. And so you're detoxifying this bad body odor and these old proteins that you've consumed from years ago. Like let's say if you follow a vegan diet now, but in the past you were eating a standard diet, right? Of meat and eggs and dairy and all those different types of foods, right? Then during detox, you can start to smell a little bad as you are eliminating these proteins. So proteins is a big one when it comes to bad body odor. So make sure you eliminate that. At the same time, something that can cause a lot of bad body odor is sulfur. Sulfur drug deposits. I've been seeing that in so many of the cases that I've been working on this week. Sulfur in the eyes, you know. Sulfur comes from antibiotics or sulfur drug medications. And sulfur is this rancid, really like highly acidic gas. It's it often smells like sulfur. It can smell like eggs, you know, really rancid and smelly. And I've seen this with people. Once they start to detox, they can detox this sulfur out of their system through their colon, through, you know, their stools, and their elimination when they use a toilet can be really like sulfur smelling. Or they can detox it because, like, let's say if they were a low sweater before detox, and then they start to detox, they start to implement the raw foods, the hydrating foods, and the herbs, then they start to sweat again because they're picking up their thyroid function. This sulfur, I've even seen it come out through the skin. You know, like this one client was sleeping, you know, in his bed one night, and so he was having like excessive sweating, like these night sweats during his detox, and then when he woke up the next day, the sheets were yellow and it smelled like sulfur. So even though it's like, oh my god, you know, it can be a little horrifying for some people, it's good that it's coming out of your body, because this sulfur, let me tell you guys, this sulfur is cancer causing, can cause swelling of the lymph nodes. This sulfur from antibiotics and past medications destroys the bacteria and macrophages in your lymph nodes, and those factors buffer cellular waste that enter the lymph nodes and go through the lymphatic system to be eliminated through the channels of elimination. So, you know, this sulfur suppresses the lymphatic system, and since it's so highly acidic, it can even burn the tissues and cells, creating cellular mutation, creating cell death, which equals to cancer cells. That's what cancer is dead or mutated cells, right? So it's very important to eliminate the sulfur, and it can also be very smelly. So that can be another cause for bad body odor. Another cause for bad body odor is often just skin congestion. So we can see this in your eyes too. If you have like a dark rim around your eyes, and I can tell you guys, and I always do in our detox consultations in the Master Your Health package, when you guys receive the iridology reading, I'll always say, okay, you have a skin ring, skin congestion. That always means that you have lymphatic stagnation in the subcutaneous layer of your skin, which means that these lymphatic and cellular wastes have been building up right underneath the skin, making it very difficult to sweat. So you can have poor sweating ability to where you're just not eliminating your cellular waste on a daily basis. In actuality, every single day, a healthy human being releases 2 pounds of toxins just through their skin, just through sweating alone. So you can imagine if you're, let's say, eliminating 1 pound or half a pound, how many gears, how many pounds of cellular waste are you keeping within your body? All this is very smelly, rancid stuff, guys. So if you want to improve your sweating and eliminate the cause of this bad body odor, I would recommend doing dry brushing. So getting a natural bristle brush and doing dry brushing all over your skin, that can help start to decongest the skin and start to open up the skin to sweat. Number 2, going to the sauna, encouraging sweating by going to a natural dry sauna, not an infrared sauna. I don't recommend infrared saunas because they heat you from the inside out, when that's kind of like radiation. That's not supernatural, so it's recommended that you go into a sauna that heats you from the outside in. So just a more natural approach, guys. And then number 3, you always want to check for your thyroid function. So if your basal temperature test, if you check your basal temperature and it's in the low end, like low 96 or low 95s, then that means that your thyroid function is pretty low. So once you incorporate detoxification, you start to take the thyroid formula, thyroid herbs, things like kelp, bladderwrack, seaweeds. The thyroid formula itself is fantastic. Different berries. There's a lot of good herbs and good nutrition that's in that thyroid formula that I often recommend to you guys, or like really depending on your level of thyroid weakness. That's why it's important to get an iridology reading, because I can see the level of weakness of the thyroid. So once I see what your thyroid health looks like, then I recommend, I make my recommendations. But once you increase the function of your thyroid gland, then you'll start to sweat, and a lot of our clients do start to sweat, and they start to eliminate all these different things. So and then of course the last factor that causes body odor is just plain colon toxicity. Most people have colon toxicity, putrefying factors inside their colon, and this is due to the years of eating processed foods, eating dairy products, eating animal products, like all of these dehydrating, devitalized, mucus forming foods. This creates a lot of mucus formation within the colon because the colon's tissue is so sensitive that it tries to protect itself constantly. So like, let's say if you drink like a Coke or a soda or beer, or you eat ice cream or anything like that, anything that's really mucus forming and highly acidic, like carbonation is also highly acidic. Even things like kombucha that you would think is a health food, not so. The carbonation along with the fermentation creates more fungal issues in the body, creates this acidic mucus forming response. So years and years of not paying attention to your colon, not focus on deeply cleaning out your colon the correct way with raw foods, fruits, and herbs, and like fasting and things like that, you will form a thick layer of mucus, a thick layer known as mucoid plaque, and this is very, very smelly. So when you go into the detoxification process by following your diet plan and herbal protocol based on what we see in your eyes, then all this mucus gets eliminated and this mucoid plaque gets eliminated, and then absorption picks up, and then of course you'll be free from all this toxic fermenting matter within your colon, because the colon itself is a reflexive organ. So it means, like, let's say if you have a lot of like bowel pockets or diverticulum in your colon, which a lot of people do. Some people don't think that they have it, but most people do, because over the years of having old hardened stools or even like a few days of constipation can lock a lot of these old hardened stools into these bowel pockets, and then through the blood and through the nerve system, all this toxicity branches out into different parts of your body. So depending on where the toxicity is in your colon, whether it's the rectum, the transverse colon, the cecum, the sigmoid colon, not only does it apply pressure to nearby organs, like let's say your bladder or your prostate or your uterus, different organs like that, different systems like that, but it also transfers and seeps out through every opening of your body. So starting from the tip of your tongue all the way down to your rectum and anus, that is the whole digestive tract. So if you are toxic in your colon, you can have bad breath. If you're toxic in your colon, you can have, smelly armpits, right? If you're toxic in your colon, for females, you can have like smelly discharge, things like that, things of that nature, right? So it's very important to clean out the colon. So that in itself is like its own video, right? Just talking about bad body odor. But now you guys can see how usually it's several different root causes, not just one root cause that causes one symptom, because the body is interconnected. So you need to look at all parts. For a case of bad body odor, I would recommend the GI Broom, as well as the GI Renew formula to make sure that you're going to the bathroom 3 to 4 times a day. The GI Broom helps to get rid of the sulfur and the mucus and mucoid plaque like we discussed, so it's super duper important. Lymphatic formulas and kidney formulas are essential to pick up your kidney filtration. That way you can decongest the skin, and also any gland formulas that you need. So like the thyroid formula, or if you have a pituitary weakness, suppressing your thyroid, or hypothalamus weakness, suppressing your thyroid, all that is taken into account when creating your herbal protocol, for those of you that are working with me. So that will pick up the skin to sweat, and all this, like, essentially in the beginning it might be like a little bit difficult, but it's only because you'll be eliminating all this junk from your body. But it's better out than keeping it inside, because what's the result of keeping all these wastes inside? What's the result is decaying tissue, decaying cells, diseases in the long run if you don't already have a ton of diseases or symptoms or health issues now, right? So yeah, 99% of all diseases really comes from toxicity from within, genetic weaknesses or gland weaknesses. So that's what we address through true detoxification with iridology and herbs. So you go on to say that sometimes you feel pressure in your left ear. Okay, so this kind of like ties back into the colon toxicity that I was talking about. In your eyes, you'll definitely see, like right across from the ear region, you'll see also the colon as well. So depending on if you have a lot of toxicity in that transverse colon or hepatic flexure, where it kind of like makes that turn, then you can see that toxicity being transferred to that ear. Oftentimes, all it takes is a good colon detox, coupled with some detox tools, and you can really relieve this ear pressure, right? Ear pressure can also come from just upper head lymphatic stagnation. So many times when I look at your eyes, guys, I see that you have like this really thick acute or subacute lymph stagnation in that head region. So when it comes to the ear or the mastoid region, the regions that are often the case, very congested, is going to be the brainstem and the cerebellum. So the back of the head or the base of the head. And that is what you are looking at dissolving, draining. So how do you drain the head? By pumping your lymph system, getting your kidneys to filter, of course, focusing on the channels of elimination, and cleaning out your colon, because the colon, once you clean the colon, the head starts to drain lymphatically. This is what we see. You also start to see these cold and flu-like symptoms start up in your body. So cold and flu-like symptoms aren't always a sign that you're sick. All the time, it's your body trying to clean house. It's your body trying to clean out whatever viral is around or whatever lymphatic stagnation is around. Viruses are just an effect of the root cause. So viruses aren't to be feared. What's actually to be feared in reality is just the toxicity that has accumulated in the human body throughout the entire human species, because we've become a society that we're literally drowning in our own cellular waste and drowning in chemical toxicity that's in the air, in the water, in the products that we use, in the foods that we eat. And so we have to take a very proactive approach trying to eliminate these wastes out. Because if we don't worry about it, if you don't worry about your health and detoxing your body, no one else is going to worry about it either. You can't count on your medical doctor to educate you about this. So you have to be the one to take a proactive approach to be a healer. Or, while you're learning, while you're implementing this, getting the guidance of a natural healer that is, giving results to people, like helping them see true results in healing their health issues, right? And someone that's confident that you can heal, because that's what you want. A sign of confidence is a sign that it works. It has worked and will always continue to work, because it's just the human body. The human body doesn't change. The foods that we consume, they are designed, fruits and raw foods, they are designed for our human anatomy. They are the easiest foods to digest. They're the most hygienic, they are the most astringent to pump the lymphatic system. They eliminate all this mucus. And so yeah, guys, that's really what it comes down to. But if you're experiencing like a lot of pressure in your left ear, you can also do the detox tool of doing ear candling, right? So I usually recommend 2 candles per ear, or 1 candle per ear if you can only do 1 candle per ear. And that just helps relieve a lot of this lymphatic pressure. So again, guys, analyzing your entire case, going through your main health concerns like this, going through your genetic family history to see what genetic weaknesses you're facing, and also looking at your eyes, that's where I'm able to see where the root cause is actually coming from. Because if I don't have that information, then it's all just like, speculation. Like it could be this, it could be this, it could be this, it could be this, you know what I mean? But if you get your case analyzed, then you know for sure what diet you need to follow, what herbs you need to follow for sure, because it's specifically made for you to heal your health issue or health issues, right? Okay, so blood tests showing extreme weak pancreas and low red blood cells. Okay, so if your blood test is showing an extreme pancreas weakness, then I'm pretty sure that you have like a huge chronic lacuna or chronic weakness in that pancreas region. To me, it just sounds like with everything that we've been talking about, your colon must be very congested, lymphatically speaking, and probably with mucus and malabsorption issues as well. So how you address this, you always have to remember the pancreas and the liver gallbladder are actually branches of the colon tree. right? So if you clean the trunk, the branches are going to drain. The pancreas is going to drain lymphatically, and the liver gallbladder is going to drain lymphatically. So all you have to do is really focus on cleaning out the colon. And if you see a chronic pancreas weakness, then you want to couple your herbal protocol with a pancreas formula or a pancreas glandular. To me, it sounds like if it's showing you an extreme weakness like that already in your blood results, then you definitely need, or you'll probably definitely need, a pancreas glandular. But you see, blood results like aren't even necessary, because I could just be able to see this type of weakness in your eyes, whether you need a pancreas herbal formula or pancreas glandular in order to heal, you know? So the bad thing with blood tests is that they can show you like what's happening in that very second in your body, but it doesn't show you what that looks like a few minutes from then, or a few days, or, you know, next week, right? Because blood work is always changing, which is why I don't advise clients to check their blood work like if they're like 1 month into their detox, because your blood work can look crazy as your body's detoxifying all these proteins and all these wastes, you know? So I always advise checking your blood work like wait a little more, maybe like 4 months into detox or 6 months into detox, something like that, because then it'll be a more accurate portrayal of where your health is at, right? And then you said you have low red blood cells. Okay, so that is a huge concern to me. With low red blood cells, you know that you have a poor quality of blood. Blood is the vital force of our body. Blood is what brings nutrition to all the cells and tissues and organs and glands. So it's like, it's half of the picture when it comes to health. What it takes to maintain the health of a cell is nutrition and elimination. Nutrition and elimination. And of course, communication too, through the nervous system. But nutrition through blood flow, elimination through lymph flow, and communication through nerve flow. So those are the three main flows of the body that you must focus on in order to heal and regenerate any part of your body, okay? But when it comes to low red blood cells, I would say you want to take a spleen formula if you have a spleen weakness, because the spleen cleans the blood through the lymphatic system. So you want nice clean blood, then you heal the spleen. You want to focus on the liver, because the liver gets rid of like any damaged red blood cells, and it maintains the quality of your blood cells. As well as you want to focus on healing your bone marrow. So you would want to take a bone marrow formula that will help with the production of red blood cells. So that's really what you're covering when it comes to low red blood cells. You would definitely see this in your eyes or genetic family history, but you would want to cover the liver, gallbladder, the spleen, and the bone marrow if you have low red blood cell count, okay? So like, let's see, the next part of your question is you have rosacea. Rosacea, skin gets really bad and itchy after wearing a mask, and also I get a bit of a sore throat. Therefore, I need to avoid it as much as I can. Major sinus congestion, issues with the pancreas, dry skin and dry pale lips, red skin on face, pimples, skin tags and moles, and deep inflammation on face, especially on chin and nose area. Okay, so that's like a lot to take in. So with rosacea, there's several different factors that cause skin inflammation as well too. So it could be your adrenal glands could be very weak. So the adrenal glands help keep this inflammation that you're talking about in check in our bodies, because the adrenal glands produce the anti-inflammatory steroids that we need to keep this inflammation in check. So sounds to me like you have some adrenal gland weaknesses. At the same time, the adrenal glands control kidney filtration, which can eliminate, through this kidney filtration, it eliminates this highly acidic acidosis that can seep out of your skin, creating this redness and itchy and burning rosacea type feeling on your face, right? So to me, it sounds like you're really congested all the way up here. You have the left ear pressure, you have the bad body odor, you have, you know, like all these things pointing to upper head congestion and colon toxicity. So you really have to focus on these two. From what it looks like, right? And you already said that you're really congested up here in your face with sinus congestion issues. So what really, you know, what's really concerning to me in this day and age is that masks are enforced in many, many places around the world. You know, you have some states, you have some areas of the world that they're very lenient on needing to wear a mask, but you know, like you know, that's what I don't like about, you know, Maui or Hawaii, is that they are very strict with like these mask mandates, that you have to wear a mask in all indoor places, you know, which really sucks. Like if I'm going out to like, you know, shop or something, I don't want to spend like an hour there not being able to breathe, right? Like maybe like 10 minutes in and out real quick. But yeah, I really feel also for the people that need to wear it because they're like industry, like service workers, you know, they're in the restaurant industry or they're in retail or things like that, or you know, like maybe they're like a hair salonist, or you know, they're in like these brick and mortar businesses where they are required to wear masks by law, you know. But I foresee a lot of head congestion issues, poor circulation issues, poor brain development as well. Many of the five senses are located up here. So really with mask wearing, you have a dulling of the senses in general. And it's so interesting to me because you already said that you can't smell your own body odor on yourself. So your smelling faculties are already being impaired. This mask wearing isn't going to help. So, you know, to kind of like counteract this mask wearing that you're required to do when you go out, then I recommend doing at least a few minutes a day of deep abdominal breathing. You can look it up, but deep abdominal breathing is essentially when you breathe in through your abdomen and your stomach expands. And then when you breathe out, your stomach retracts. So your stomach's going up and down. This is actually the correct way of breathing for humans. But, you know, like, when we're a baby, we know how to breathe correctly, but over time, you know, we kind of like lose our ability to breathe, maybe because we're talking a lot or because there's so much stress, but a lot of people just forget how to breathe appropriately. So it's a very good idea to just kind of like breathe that way whenever you can remember, or just take dedicated time. Like let's say if you're doing yoga or stretching or relaxing, right? To take that time to do some abdominal breathing. It's very beneficial as well because, you know, the thoracic duct is located right there in the abdomen. So every time you do this abdominal breathing, you're actually pumping your lymphatic system, and 75% of the lymph fluid is controlled in that area. So every time you do abdominal breathing, 75% of the lymph fluid is pumped and it helps with elimination. So that would be very good for you. As well as deeply cleaning out your colon to decongest the sinuses. So back to the skin, we talked about the adrenals. How about the fungus factor? You told me that you have a pancreas weakness. It's already showing up in blood results. What does the pancreas do? The pancreas is responsible for the digestion of carbohydrates, fats, and proteins. People that have this pancreas weakness, they often see undigested food in their stools. They're often very skinny. They can't really like put on weight, or, you know, they don't really have much fat or muscle on them. So, you know, that's something that you could be facing with this pancreas weakness. And since you're having like all this undigested matter in your stools, that causes fermentation. With fermentation comes fungus. And with fungus comes itching of the skin. You know, so a lot of people that have candida or fungal issues, they itch all over, right? A good sign to see if you have fungus in your body is a few different things. People can have toenail fungus. People can just have random itching, of course. They can have a lot of the different health symptoms that comes with having fungus or candida, like fatigue and lethargy, cravings for starches. That's a big one. Fungus makes us crave starch and processed sugars. So how to correct this would be, you want to heal your pancreas to address the fungus if the rosacea and itching is coming from the fungus. And back to the adrenal glands too. The adrenals do so much, guys. So I'm always like recommending adrenal formula in your protocols whenever you guys work with me. But the adrenals control sugar metabolism too. So if you have candida or fungus, it could be coming from an adrenal gland weakness, right? So yeah, and you already said you have skin tags and moles. That's a definite sign of fermentation of fungus in the body. So if you detox the fungus out of you by taking Parasite M, Parasite G, herbal formulas like that, the skin tags and moles will come off. You just have to consistently go after it during your detox. You know, and the more you clean out your lymph system too, since you're congested up here, you start to see kidney filtration. That cloudiness in your urine when you pee in a clear jar, it should look cloudy. Should never look clear. Should look as cloudy as possible. Okay? So achieving kidney filtration is pretty important, because the more you achieve of this filtration, then you'll see your health issues start to disappear more and more and more. So it is actually a false thought of needing to achieve clear urine to, you know, like as a sign that you're hydrated. Like that is a false thought, and that belongs in like archaic times, because nowadays we already know that if you are following a raw detox diet or a healthy diet and you see the sediment in your urine, that is a good sign of elimination of cellular waste, okay? Because all your cells in your body, the hundreds of trillions of cells, need to poop and pee just like we do. That's what I like to say. They poop and pee, they use the toilet, they need to go to the bathroom to eliminate these wastes. So imagine if you yourself, if you just all of a sudden started pooping and peeing all over your house. It would be super smelly, right? Let's say if you didn't have any toilet paper or water to, you know, clean it off of your skin, it would start to burn your skin, right? That's exactly what's happening in and around all of our cells in our bodies. If our lymph systems are stagnant, if our kidneys aren't filtering the way they're supposed to, they're all burning from the outside in. Okay, so it's really important to focus on this kidney filtration. And when it gets so bad, you start to see it, you know, coming out through the skin. That's why the skin gets red. That's why the skin gets eczema and psoriasis and rosacea and acne and pimples and all these different health conditions. Okay, so that's what you want to focus on is, you know, really start to take kidney formulas. I recommend kidney number 1, kidney number 2. I recommend, you know, take the kidney tea. Maybe you have a huge kidney weakness. You'd have to take a kidney glandular if that's the case. And then like slowly but surely up your lymphatic formulas, you know, have it, and I always do this, you know, I recommend like a slow approach in the herbal protocol. So I don't just like, you know, give you the strongest lymphatic formula right away, because I have experience in the past, you know, many clients, they benefit from that slower lymphatic approach because it gives you time for your kidneys to filter. If you just take a strong lymphatic formula from the get-go and your kidneys aren't filtering, guess what? Your skin conditions are going to explode and get worse, right? So this is why a lot of people need the one-on-one expert guidance of a detox specialist like myself, because we've seen it all, we know what we're doing, and we have, you know, like firsthand experience, personal experience, and also, you know, case by case, having seen thousands of clients over the years and different, all different types of conditions. We've pretty much seen it all. Pretty much every condition under the sun, we've seen it and healed it. Okay, so now moving on. You talk about warts on foot, some itching all places on the body, a lot of fungus, did crave a lot of starch, salt, and fatty stuff before detoxing. That's exactly what I was saying right now. So yeah, you have a lot of fungus. You know, if you crave salt, it means you have an adrenal weakness, because the adrenal glands are also responsible for mineral utilization. So if you're not utilizing the minerals from your foods, then your body's going to be like craving the salt because it's lacking those minerals in, you know, and being able to utilize them. And it says right here, my left eye was completely inflamed and red and hurting. Eyesight got worse. Major pressure on eye, sunken eye for 1.5 or more years. Doctors tried every medication and couldn't find out how to help me. Starting to get blind until everything turned around after detoxing for several months. Okay, exactly what we were talking about is this upper head region and how the senses, your vision, your hearing, your taste, your smell, all of these 4 senses that are up here will start to go due to this acidic waste building up. And for sure, if I looked at your eyes, I would see just a thick lymph all over the head, the brain, the scalp, the face, the ear, the eyes, the nose, that entire region. So You really have to focus on trying to drain. So you need to have these cold and flu-like symptoms for sure. The cold and flu-like symptoms, like I said, guys, cold and flu-like symptoms are a way of the body detoxifying itself. It's nothing to be feared, nothing to be scared about. You just have to know to support the immune system, keep yourself hydrated, and let it pass, right? Good cold and flu-like symptoms are things like fever, sneezing, coughing up mucus, draining of the mucus from the ears or the nose or the mouth. If you start to feel these things coming up during your detox, you just want to spit them out, okay? So, and then you'll see, your vision will get better, the inflammation will start to dissipate, because I don't like that. If you're starting to lose your vision, it means you could be damaging the optic nerve with the acids present up here, or you could be damaging the retina as well, which, those two main areas of the eyes are going to be crucial in healing if you want to correct your vision, if you want to correct inflammation and all these different types of things. But I often recommend the eye health tincture. You can take it internally as well as externally. You just kind of have to be careful taking it externally, like right from the get-go. But as long as you've been doing, like, if you're eliminating properly, if you kind of like cool things down up here with the raw fruits and the herbs, then you can do it externally as well. But the eye health formula has those lymphatic herbs. So remember, you can't like pull too much. So yeah, that's what we discuss in our consultations, and how to detox the right way, how to detox intelligently, so that you can like get in and out of this healing journey as fast as possible and not cause more damage than, like if you were to do it on your own, right? So yeah, of course, doctors can't help. Every medication, of course, they can't help. Because what will they give you? They'll give you steroid medications, but what does that do? That damages your adrenal glands, making them weaker and lazier over time. And then your body will get used to it till, guess what? The acids will be bursting out of your body, because there's only so much steroid medication you can take until everything just starts to explode and reveal itself. You cannot take enough steroid medications to combat the effects of acidosis. That's just, it doesn't work that way. The acids are still within your body, okay? So you have to eliminate the acids. Let me see. So I'm glad though that your eye inflammation has decreased from detoxing for a few months. That's great, but you still have some more healing work to do in your body. You said hair and skin gets really dry after washing or showering. Dry hair and skin is also another indication of the effects of acidosis within the body. So again, like I said, acidosis comes from years and years of eating the wrong acidifying foods, or it can come from your environment. Environmentally, you can have acidosis just constantly beating you over the head, beating you in all directions, right? Or it could also come from medications, like sulfur medications like we discussed. It can come from negative emotions. Those are low vibrational and therefore acidic. So, and of course it can come from like your channels of elimination being shut down. So acidosis can form from many different things, which is why we need to look at the body as a whole and address every part that's down. Malabsorption, so you do have malabsorption. Okay, you got to clean the colon, you have to heal the pancreas for malabsorption. Rosacea, swollen face, okay, so swelling face, your body can hold onto water as edema to try and buffer acids. All throughout this video, I've been telling you how acidic you are up here, and it shows that your body's trying to buffer the negative effects of these acids by holding onto water. So the body, it uses water, it uses calcium, it uses mucus, and it uses cholesterol in attempt to buffer acids if we're not doing anything, if we're not actively detoxifying our bodies. The body is still trying to protect you even when you're consuming acidifying foods for years and years, right? But the problem with that is the long-term effects of these things, long-term effects of edema, long-term effects of calcium leaching or calcium deposits or cholesterol plaquing, right? Or mucus piling up in your intestines. Of course, that has an enervating effect, stiffening effect on the body from the calcium, clogging effect from cholesterol plaquing in the arteries. So, like all these different things you must get rid of and you must address the root cause. Sensitive to temperature, hormonal imbalances, not filtering a lot, MTHFR. Okay, if you're sensitive to temperature, that could come from your thyroid or hypothalamus, since it actually controls your body temperature and regulates that. Hormonal imbalances is coming from the female reproductive system, so probably your ovaries, pituitary, adrenals, that's at play here. Not filtering a lot. Okay, so you're not filtering from your kidneys, so we need to work on healing and regenerating your glands in order to pick up your filtration. And MTHFR, if you have that, it's a genetic weakness, and all genetic weaknesses are healed through detoxification, all of them. So, you alkalize, the tissue is able to regenerate. That in that order: hydrate, alkalize, regenerate. That's what happens, and that's the main goal of detoxification. Is not just to detox waste out of the body, but also to detox so that your cells and tissues and organs and glands can regenerate themselves, right? Next part says, had a long time where I got really dizzy and had black vision for some seconds when standing up. Okay, so that dizziness right there points to that cerebellum congestion or weakness that I was talking about before. The cerebellum controls that balance. So if you feel imbalance, dizziness, vertigo, you have like unbalanced coordination, if you're constantly like hitting yourself against like corner tables or running into things, you most likely have a cerebellum weakness. But this dizziness can also come from having low blood pressure or low blood sugar. So if you have blood pressure that is in the low hundreds or the 90s or 80s, then that can also cause like this dizziness, as well as low blood sugar issues. And again, all that ties to the adrenal glands. If you have low blood pressure or blood sugar issues, that ties to your adrenal health, and it's pointing to just having like chronic adrenal weakness. Having black vision, like blacking out like that, oh, that's not good. So I take it you probably have a weakness in the 5 senses region of your brain. I could see this in iridology if I were to look at your eyes. But yeah, I personally used to get that too when I was chronically ill many years ago before detox. And then you said you have parathyroid issue, weak and flabby skin, no muscle tone, a lot of stretch marks on upper legs and hips, cellulite, and no muscles. Okay, so this is, like you said, it's parathyroid gland weakness, because if you're not utilizing calcium, which, strengthens your connective tissue, keeps things like very like supple and bouncy, right? It could also be lymphatic issues. Just lymphatic issues. Acidosis can create cellulite, flabby skin, stretch marks, cellulite, all those different types of things lymphatic issues can create. So I would, at the same time that you're cleaning out this acidosis, you also strengthen your parathyroid. If you have that weakness as seen in your eyes, you can take a parathyroid glandular formula and couple that with some natural form of calcium, not isolated, but natural in terms of like taking alfalfa or taking kelp or something like that. That's really high in calcium. And also there's certain fruits that are high in calcium too, like oranges are extremely high in calcium. So drinking a lot of orange juice would help that, as well as like draining your sinuses too. So like all in all of your health issues, the perfect diet would include fruits like watermelons to clean out your colon, of the mucus, of the sulfur, of the mucoid plaque, help to alkalize your body. It's so soothing and cooling, so all this inflammation will go down. Orange juice will be fantastic because it'll help to drain your head, inspire these cold and flu-like symptoms, inspire sneezing and coughing and blowing your nose and all these things that will help open up your 5 senses up here, so you can hear well, you can smell again, you can see, fantastic. So that's going to be important. Another thing would be to incorporate berries. Berries will help to heal your glands and your hormonal issues. So blueberries would be really good for you, especially if you're suffering from fatigue or any emotional issues. But of course you have a lot of like adrenal weaknesses. That's definite for sure. depending on where you are located and where you're located in the world, what season it is, you are able to get some fruits and sometimes not others. So whatever season you're in, just fully take advantage of the in-season produce and its properties during your detox work on yourself, okay? But yeah, thank you so much for your question, and I had a really nice time discussing this case with you guys. I know so many of you guys are suffering with like these very health issues or even more. We truly live in a very toxic world nowadays, but I'm really happy because a lot of people are having more awareness. Like, this whole pandemic is just, it's like a blessing also, because I've never before seen as many people right now interested in healing their bodies as ever before. People that I thought would never ever, give the time of day to pay attention to their diet, their dietary choices or their lifestyle habits. Now they're doing so. And I think it's because we were able to slow down and pay more attention to that area of our lives. We're able to slow down, but as well, we're also seeing the lies, and we're also seeing, the dishonesty. We're seeing the unfairness of all these mandates, and just how the government has been handling this pandemic has been atrocious all across the board. And so more and more people are taking their sovereignty back. They're becoming sovereign beings and taking health into their own hands, which is what we and I love to see. So if you can relate to any of these things, I commend you for taking your health seriously nowadays. And it's always an investment. Like, investing in your health is just the gift that keeps on giving, because not only do you benefit from it like day to day during detox, you feel better and better and better each and every day, but you're also setting up a fantastic future for yourself. We don't know what the future will bring, but if you detox, you can bet that you'll be like the most physically, mentally, and emotionally prepared human being because you detoxed, right? And especially for people that are looking to have kids, looking to conceive, I always say detox first. And if you are in a place where you're feeling bedridden, you're feeling extremely fatigued or in chronic pain or in fear, you don't know what to do, you're kind of like playing ring around the rosy with all these medical doctors and specialists, then it's time to detox. Detox is the answer that you've been looking for. Like, make this investment in yourself to detox your body. It's only a blink of an eye compared to the rest of your life. And then you'll have the rest of your life to enjoy without fear of diseases, without reliance on medications that are just going to make you worse and going to create even more suffering, okay? So yeah, take care of your health, guys. Take the power back in your hands. And if you guys want to work with me one-on-one, you can go to our website at www.spiritropicalhealing.com. We have a lot of different detox packages on there. I recommend the Master Your Health package because it brings everything that you need to get started on your healing journey or to dig deeper on your detox healing journey. It brings a consultation one-on-one, brings a diet plan, herbal protocol, an iridology reading, and detox tools that you need that will deepen your detox journey. And often it's those detox tools coupled with everything else that will make or break your detox journey. I see it time and time again. We see it time and time again. Culminating those different areas of health and healing, that is what makes someone soar from just plateauing, from being here, not seeing healing results, to trajecting them into complete healing. So it's truly amazing, truly magical. I'm so grateful for detoxification, and I'm so grateful to all of you guys that are tuning in and watching these videos. Thank you for caring so much about your health, and I look forward to working with all of you very, very soon, helping you heal. And yeah, this is like my life mission, my life purpose, and I'm so happy that I'm able to continue on my own growth and healing journey to be able to pass that wisdom and that knowledge onto you guys. So, you know, thank you so much. And if you have any questions that you'd like me to address and answer in the next Q&A video, then leave a comment down below. I read all the comments and I'll be able to choose your comments to address in the next Q&A video. But I'll leave the link to our website in the description box down below if you're interested in working with me one-on-one. Again, I recommend the Master Your Health package or the VIP support package if you need just more long-term guidance. And if you purchase the Master Your Health package, you also have the options to do follow-up consultations as well. So yeah, guys, I love you all so much and take care. Bye.